Hi, I'm Craig. That's my brother Brad. Welcome to Weekdays with Craig and Brad, episode 56. Brad, we made it.
What?
hmm
We made it. 56 episodes.
Yes.
Now what?
Well, you guys, thanks for showing up this week. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys give this video a like and a share with other your friends, and we'll see you guys tomorrow, episode 57. Bye bye.
Yes, we did it. Yes. Moving on. We should do that every time. I think
Just phone it in.
it'll at least keep our subscription numbers up.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
It
You know,
seems
I was
the longer
thinking-
we talk,
Yeah.
we talk, the more the numbers go down.
Oh yeah. I'm sure that has a lot to do with it. With that said, we should probably do a little PSA about, like a little PSA that shows up on the channel and being like, look, we're not going to like everything. You're not going to like everything that we say. And you know what? That's fine. That's fine. But you better be along for the ride, motherfucker. Maybe not
Whoa.
like that, but that
Uh-huh. Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
It sounds like
yeah.
a teaser trailer. Like
Mhm.
maybe if it was like really intense and it was like, it's Craig and
Mm,
Brad. You're
yeah.
not gonna like everything they say. Dun dun dun. But you better be along for the ride, mother effer.
That was nice. Wow. That was give me some goosebumps.
You like it?
Goosebumps right there. No, not really.
Ooh.
No.
Rated weekdays with Craig and Brad. Rated R.
But I appreciate everybody who watches all the way to the end on every episode. That's really great. It means a lot. The watch time goes up. The comments, they're incredibly important. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you give this video a thumbs up and a comment, because comments are good now. And we've had a lot of good conversation. I'm constantly checking my YouTube studio to keep an eye on the channel and the comments and stuff. We literally read every single comment. So even the ones we don't like, because that's the purpose of this.
Well, you don't know if you like them or not until after you read them.
No,
you have
no,
to read them to find out.
As soon as I look at it, I'm like,
First word?
Yeah.
You guys usually starts off the bad ones.
Yeah, you son of a. Yeah, it's like, okay, well, all right, sounds good. But yeah, I'm excited to be going here, guys. It's we're recording this live Sunday night for those of you watching over on YouTube. You can find us over on twitch.tv/Craig Skits every Sunday through Thursday night for the recording for the following weekday, hence the show weekdays with Craig and Brad. I don't know if you saw this. Actually, I know you didn't. Let me actually read this comment. It was really well. I really enjoyed this comment. It's not the YouTube comment of the day, but I do want to point this out because it was probably one of my favorite comments of the weekend. Because it actually happened over on a community post that I made. He said, hello, I'll be unsubbing now. Nothing against the weekdays thing, but it uploads too often. Once a week would be great. And I responded with, sorry to see you go. If we did it once a week, we would have to change the name to Week with Craig and Brad, and it doesn't flow that well. So
what is this weekday show every day of the week? God,
there you go. But I'm glad you guys are doing things.
That's silly.
It is what it is.
Some people aren't paying close attention. I had shared one of our shows on Twitter, and somebody had made a comment. Another popular Twitter account was talking about the cancellation of Gina Carano that we did, and I said, cancel culture doesn't exist anymore, didn't you know? And I left the link for our thing, and somebody commented, and they're like, if you think cancel culture is not a thing, then you haven't been paying attention. And so I was like, you clearly didn't watch our video. I'm paying attention.
Right. So, well, are you really? I don't. Let's Sinister Angel in the chat. Good to see you guys. Lots of great folks in the chat tonight. Vilter, of course, Colin and Sonic Mario the Hedgehog and Iceman and Chancho. Let's go with this, guys. Thanks so much. The real go-to. Man, this is excellent. And before we really get into stuff, I want to say GK resubbing tier 1 for 6 months. Says, oh, what's happening now? Canceling and canceled again. Oh, that's right. Yeah, the title of tonight's show. You don't even know what the title of tonight's show is, do you, Brad?
Oh no, what's it called?
Okay. It's very simply, we won't apologize for good but narrow.
Oh,
yes.
Okay,
that's right.
Okay.
Yes, it's good. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna. I'm sorry, I'm putting in the go live notification right now, Brad. Feel free to fill everybody in on what's going on.
What's going on?
Mhm.
We're doing a show right now. We're gonna
Oh,
we're gonna celebrate a lot the first half of the show with a lot of good stuff that's going on with the
oh,
channel, with our watchers,
mhm.
subscribers, legends here, as Craig might
Mhm.
call them. You know, I don't
Legends chat.
call the legends the legends. I never actually refer to you people watching as legends.
Hmm.
But hello, legends.
See, maybe you should. You should start now. Colin
Yeah,
actually already actually donated $5. Thanks, Colin. Appreciate it. Says this was
nice.
something I mentioned on Discord. We say Happy Valentine's Day, but do we need to wait for a national holiday to wish someone a happy day? Colin,
No,
way to nail it on the head right there. You don't need to wait for a special day. It's you're great. You're
yeah.
great. And Colin also gifted a sub to the Kyle Universe. Look at that, the Kyle Universe coming in. Make sure you say thank you. I know you are. Okay. So listen, one of the reoccurring themes on the show and something that's incredibly important, obviously, is comments, but also thumbs up. And we have a challenge every single episode, whether we mention it or not, and that is to get 150 thumbs up per episode, because Larry, our mascot, has a very big goal, and that is to add more thumbs to Larry. Brad, tell us about it.
All right. Well, for those of you that don't know, Larry is a friend of the show. He appears only in this image with this cool, sweet rainbow goopy background and
Mhm.
terrible font choices. But this is where we started out with Larry. I wanted to go all the way back to
Mm.
the very beginning, all times thumbs up record. This was back at level 0, no thumbs. And this was when he started back in December. Larry was like, "Come on, you little punks, or I'm going to punch you." Literally had no thumbs. So the idea was, hey, maybe we can push people to hit that little thumbs up button by promising to add a thumb to our friend Larry here every time we crossed a threshold. So where we were as of last week was level 7. Here he is.
Ooh. Whoa! God,
Seven
that's
and a
so
half
good.
thumbs.
I hate it.
Larry said, "Holy crow, I got a thumb on my cheek now." So we surpassed this last week. We're moving on to level 8, and we're
Oh
going to
no.
unveil a new thumb on Larry. I love that he's at not just 7 thumbs. He's at 7.5 thumbs, and he'll be moving on to 8.5 thumbs. We got this beautiful little nub of a thumb right here that we got when we didn't quite make our goal, but I gave us a thumb anyway. That was at 149 thumbs up.
That's
So
good.
here we
I-
are. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button.
And give us predictions if you're watching live. This is one of the advantages of watching live. You get to see exactly what you guys think. Where do you think Larry's thumb's going to land next?
Yeah,
I'm going to go
you
with.
gotta
I'm
guess.
going to go with.
You gotta guess. Let's hear it.
I'm going to say you're going to put another thumb. I think Larry's going to get another thumb on top of another thumb, or it could just be a regular thumb on his left hand. I don't know. You know, Sinister Angel says thumbs for eyes. El Renero thinks he's going to get a thumb on a tie. Look at that. That's great.
Ooh, that's a
Mhm.
great idea. I have not thought of that one yet. So good suggestion.
These are all wonderful.
Right here,
Wonderful.
going to be on his nose, on his neck.
Yeah, these are great. All right, let's
I
see
love it. All right, here we go. Drum roll, please. And the world premiere of Larry's Thumb, number 8, in 3, 2, 1. Right
Wait,
there.
where did it go?
It's
Is it-
on.
oh, is
it's-
it-
he got another one on his head.
He got a horn. Wait, is Larry turning into the devil? Is Larry
You
turning
know?
into the devil?
Here's where we were. Here's where we are.
Larry's turning into the devil.
Larry says, "I don't feel beautiful anymore."
Oh, no, poor Larry. Poor Larry. Just every day slowly devolving into Satan. That's so sad. So
Yeah,
sad.
well, we'll see. I mean, right now, yeah, he's in a little sort of Satan phase,
Mhm.
holding cocktail wieners. It's very weird, very awkward. But you know what? The more we get those thumbs up and hit those goals, it's going to change. He'll be in a Triceratops phase at some point, I'm sure. Might be in a little Frankenstein phase with 2 sticking out of his neck.
Kind of scares
Who
me a little bit.
even
I don't
knows?
know.
That's the magic of Larry on our show. But he is getting pretty disturbing at this point.
Wow, that's frightening. Well, way to go, guys. Way to
Yeah.
let Larry know
Good job,
who's
everybody.
boss. All right. Also, one of the other things we have on the show, which is extremely exciting, on the regular, is the hashtag Bring It Back Challenge. Where Brad, tell them about it.
Yeah, this is where we invite you to bring back a little phrase or slogan that's kind of gone out of style from maybe the 80s or 90s. Excuse me. Let me get a little drink of water.
Okay.
I have popcorn stuck in my throat. And we invite you to film yourself saying this phrase, using it. Maybe you can use it in the comments when you comment on our videos. This last week we had a interesting one. This was really a challenge one, I think, for most people. And the phrase was we were bringing back, "You go, girl." And, I had one. I did one. I forgot to give it to you. So I sent it to you. Let's play it.
Here we go. It's just this simple.
Yeah.
You go, girl.
See, it's just that simple. That's how it works. It's very good.
So yeah, my wife came home. I was like, I'm going to film this right now. I'm going to do it. Because Craig and I invite you to do the Bring It Back Challenge, but Craig and I will also partake in Bring It Back Challenge. My wife came home. I had the camera ready to go. She walked in with pizza. I didn't even know she was going to bring in pizza. And that was a perfect time. You go, girl, bringing us pizza.
What a great example. A great example right there. That Don Parker also sent us a couple here. I'm gonna send this our way here, and let's check out this one here real quick from that Don Parker.
A treat.
Oh, the damn
treat?
cats.
Psych.
Oh, that was from last week. Oh.
Oh, sorry, sweetheart. Here you go.
You apologize. That's great. Yeah, that was a psych from our last Bring It Back Challenge. And that's one thing to note. If you go back and you watch our shows and you're like, so far we've done Up Your Button Around the Corner. We did Psych. You go, girl. If you decide that you want to do one from Bring It Back Challenge Days Gone By, go ahead and do it. We'll still share it here.
It's important. It's important. So important that even that Don Parker brought us a Up Your Button with Around the Corner. I think I may have showed this on stream, but even if I already did, it's worth showing again.
Yeah, so I tried to find the place, but it turns out I parked too far away. Yeah, but it turns out it was Up Your Button Around the Corner.
So.
Okay, all right, thank you.
I love that he just totally failed. Well,
okay.
right.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
He said thank you for the insult. Up your button around the corner. Okay, thank you very much. I'll be going now. Fantastic submissions.
Love it. Outstanding. So once again, if you have it, it can be Psych, it can be Up Your Button Around the Corner, it can be you go, girl, it can be whatever you want, and we'll deliver it in such a great way. I love everything about that. Excellent job, that Don Parker. I'm gonna get these cleared off real fast, and then let's move on to our next thing, which is we had our first T-shirt picture sent to us from the T-shirts. The first 50 episode T-shirts. We started selling them last week, and they sold out. They sold out.
Yes.
No, we only sold 20. This is limited edition. All right.
Yes.
But my God, are they beautiful? Look at Vilter Drecke.
Ooh, that's handsome, Vil.
Oh wow, way to go, Vil.
You look great in red.
Nice job, Vil. Way to go. You looking
good stuff.
Oh man. Colin. With the here's a great one for the hashtag Bring It Back Challenge. Hey Brad, guess what?
What?
Chicken butt. What's up?
Oh yeah, I use that so much. I use
man.
that with my kids. Yeah, that's a great one. Great suggestion.
Man. Okay, so let's see. We've done Larry. We got the Bring It Back hashtag Bring It Back Challenge. We've got the shirt, but we also have another new segment we launched last week. Listen, we have so many bits, so many segments on this. This is great.
Yeah, it's great. I love
Simply
it.
called, What Are We Doing?
What are we doing? Yes, this is my favorite new segment. In all honesty, I love this segment. And last week we had "Is Your Dog Racist?" little article we pulled up, and a couple other great things that we looked at. This I saw this over the weekend, and I knew right away this would be on the show. Craig,
Listen, I pre-screened this, and I don't even know. I legitimately do not believe this is real.
This is real. Craig, what are we doing?
What are we doing?
This appears to be grandparents visiting their grandchildren with a complete suits made out of bags on their heads. And I grew up in a generation, okay, where we were told not to put bags on our head. And so to see the authority figures with the bags on not just their head, but like their whole body, I can't help but ask, what are we doing? So I would hope that this isn't real, but I've seen so many other pictures like this over the last, I want to say the last year, where it's escalated. You know, we went from the masks to like goggles and masks to helmets, and then buckets and weird things, and then it's slowly just morphed. I was at a bookstore. I saw a woman completely decked out, bag over her face, goggles, mask. I saw it in person. This is a real thing people are doing. I understand you want to get the hugs from the kids. I just think if you're trying to avoid dying, the best thing to also not do is suffocate.
Have we have we talked about the emotional scarring that's happening? Like the kid's literally with his left hand trying to take it off so he can see see their face. Oh my god.
Yeah. I've seen an ad. There's actually an ad on Facebook that they were selling like these suits, and like all of the comments were like, what the heck? It was like our show. What the heck are you doing? Why are you selling this? And the company would like respond back and say, our plastic is breathable and lightweight. And like they were like trying to pitch this idea of putting a whole bag over your body. And look, a poncho's one thing. There's a hole in it for your head, but it's not going to stop the rain from getting on you, really. You got to still have the umbrella. This is a body bag. Literally body bag. So I cannot help but ask today, Craig, what are we doing?
What are we doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah. I don't know. You know, it's funny. Mark says I work at Walmart, so I've seen some stuff. There you go, right there.
A great place to find stuff, to see
That's
stuff.
Awesome. Skirtus came in. Skirtus, good to see you, man. Thank you so much. With 500 bits, it's Craig, my friend. It's been a while. You're looking good, my man. Here's a little love for you. Thank you so much, Skirtus. This is my brother, other Craig, and or Brad, whatever. Yeah. So a lot of people can't tell the difference, especially now with the facial hair between us. So, but thank you, Skirtus.
I gotta get the goatee going like you. Look, here we are.
We look the same. It's good. Colin also gets you to tier 1 sub to Vil. Good for you, Colin. Good for you, Vil. And the Reverend Taco hit the follow button over on twitch.tv/CraigSkits. Love this. Okay, let's get into the big topic tonight. There's so much to talk about here. This is a comment on our YouTube channel. I was thinking about multiple ways to address this here tonight. There's so much to talk about in this comment. This is not the YouTube comment of the day. This is just a comment. And as a matter of fact, we chose to not include this person's name because we don't want to be critical of. We don't want anybody to like feel like they need to like feel like we're attacking them, right? We don't want anybody to attack them, right? That's not the purpose of this. But we didn't want to address this because Brad saw this comment first, sent it to me, and it was like, oh my gosh, we have to talk about this. We have to talk about this. So we're going to talk about this. This is great.
Look, Craig and I, we're not going to take like the one thing about our conversations is that we really for as serious as we can get sometimes, we still like to keep this overtone where like, look, let's not take it too seriously, right? Let's go ahead and talk about it.
Okay, sure. Sorry, I saw in the chat it said Health Warriors. So check out the. Oh no.
No, I don't want to see the teacher's hug suit.
Health Warrior.
That sounds so gross.
Listen,
Let me go put on my hug suit, kids.
okay, look, we'll look at that. Listen, you guys, everybody stick around to the end of the show for this teacher's hug shoot. Hug. Oh my God. Okay, here we go. Let's get into this. This is a comment that was left on our YouTube channel. And we, like I said, we've removed the name. We just thought it'd be good to talk about this. And here it is. I'm trying to watch you guys, but my girlfriend made a good point as to why she hates me playing this podcast. It's two white guys giving their opinions. Once again, we get enough of that, especially with the things you've been talking about recently. Your content is good, but narrow, hence the title of today's episode. It's just the two of you talking about how you see things. I like your open-minded approach, but you've got to do better than this. Bring in some guests or something. Make me believe I can play this podcast in my kitchen without my girlfriend looking at me to hit the next button.
Okay.
Okay, let's digest this, shall we?
One of the great things about having our own show is that we can do whatever we want, and we can pick out any comment we want to talk about and respond. But that's one of the great things about our show. It's dialogue, it's conversation. You know?
Yeah, it's good. Now, I'll freely. I agree. I think we should have more guests on. Now, we plan to as well. Brad was actually just talking about how you want to tell them who you want to have on here soon.
No, not yet.
Okay,
I mean, it'll be a cool surprise. We'll work it out. I'm still working it out.
Sounds good. Yes, this is
We're
good.
working on it.
Yeah,
Show's still a baby. You know, we're only 56 episodes in.
right.
We got the ideas flowing. Go ahead.
So I'm going to read this really quick, and but I'm going to change one word on this. Okay, I'm going to read this. I'm just going to change one single word here, and we'll go from there. I'm trying to watch you guys, but my girlfriend made a good point as to why she hates me playing this podcast. It's two black guys giving their opinions. Once again, we get enough of that, especially with the two things you guys have been talking about recently. Your content is good, but narrow. It's just the two of you talking about how you see things. I like your open-minded approach, but you've got to do better than this. Bring on some guests or something. Make me believe I can play this podcast in my kitchen without my girlfriend looking at me to hit the next button. I'm going to read that one more time and change one word. I'm trying to watch you guys, but my girlfriend made a good point as to why she hates me playing this podcast. It's two Latino guys giving their opinions. Once again, we get enough of that. I'm going to play that one more time just for fun. I'm trying to watch you guys, but my girlfriend made a good point as to why she hates me playing this podcast. It's two women giving their opinions. Once again, I'm going to give that one more reading just to make sure. Here we go. I'm trying to watch you guys, but my girlfriend made a good point as to why she hates me playing this podcast. It's just two trans people giving their opinions. Once again, we get enough of that.
Why do you hate us?
Okay.
Awkward.
So it's funny because I responded. I was like, "Look, we're going to talk." I said we're going to talk about this comment, right? Mm-hmm. And obviously, there's a lot that goes along here. There's a ton that goes in here, right? First thought: what does our skin color have to do with anything? That's incredibly racist. If you judge anybody based off their skin color, based off of the things that they're saying, that is incredibly racist. If you judge anybody based off their skin color, period. It's incredibly racist. It's an incredibly racist statement. I'm sorry, but it is. Change one word, it's racist. It's incredibly racist. No, the statement you made is racist. All right. And honestly, it doesn't seem like there's a problem with us. It honestly sounds like there's a problem with your girlfriend or you. And I'm sorry if you're listening right now, and I'm sure you're irate at the idea of being told that the way you think is racist, but it is. It's not a problem with us. We're fine talking. And by the way, I did speak to Brad, and I was like, Brad, I really wish that you could have been born black, but unfortunately, it didn't work out.
It didn't work out. I'm
No,
sorry.
I
I'd get
didn't.
I'd get a lot. I'd get a little bit of oh, who's the guy? I couldn't go. I'd get in a lot of Jimmy Kimmel trouble or Sarah Silverman trouble if I tried to do that.
Yeah.
And I would never do that, just so
Yeah.
we're clear.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach to saying your show needs to be better by telling
Right.
people that you can't be who you are based on something that you can't control.
Right. Right. It looks like they're in the chat. Gride is in the chat apparently. He says, "My bad, homie." He says, "I'm not racist. I goofed." Well, Gride, I just want you to know. Gride says, "Am I allowed to recant?" Well, of course you are. Of course
Please
you are.
do.
But at this, because what you said is incredibly racist. I just like to point that out. And the thing is, we're not even talking about race issues. We're just a couple brothers here talking about things. And once again, I would like to freely admit that we would love to have more guests on this show. Love to have more guests, more interviews. But I would also like to point out that whenever we talk about things that are sensitive in nature, whether it's COVID, whether it's topics from the last couple shows that have really been interesting, cancel culture and stuff, we always try. Whenever comments are made in the live chat, we always try to pull the other perspective as much as we possibly can, because I want to hear. If you notice, that's a common trend, a common theme, right? You know, we may be, and I'm gonna quote one more time the phrase here: "Your content is good but narrow. Good but narrow." That's the key there, right? It's because we're two brothers. We're just talking about that's the entire premise of the show, right? And we want to expand that out further and further, and that's why we take those comments and we try to pull as much as we can from the chat, as much as we possibly can. Yeah. So, and
well, I don't think the show would flow that well if we were arguing all the time. You know, it's good. It's going to be good to have guests on, right? That
absolutely
might counter the way we think. But you and I grew up together. We have a lot in common. We have a similar background. We're brothers. Of course, we're going to have a good rapport with each other, just based on interests and how we grew up. So, yeah, you know, there's just a lot of this going on where I've noticed it in the last year. We talked about it actually several months back about my Grammy scenario, where I had submitted to the Grammys. I didn't get in, and everybody that was nominated this year for the Children's Grammy was all white. And then they pulled back three nominees. Wrote this big letter, and they're like, "We don't want to be nominees for the Grammys this year." And so, and it only had to do with skin color. It had nothing to do with talent, which is what the whole Grammys is all about. So yeah, it just seems to keep popping up. It's weird.
Yeah, like, and to be clear, we're not upset with you at all. Like, we just wanted to kind of point out, like, once again, this entire show is built around conversation based off observation, right? And you know, we didn't put your name. I mean, Gride, you've said you put yourself out there in the live chat, and we appreciate that. You didn't need to do that, but we didn't say your name on purpose because we don't want anybody bothering you. But we appreciate you putting yourself out there. It's Chris. Okay, Chris. Thank you, Chris. But you know, but we just wanted to point it out because, you know, in our mind, the idea of having a girlfriend who doesn't want to listen to us because we're white, please replace that statement with Latino or black or female. Like, everything about that statement screams inappropriate.
Are we trying to get you to watch the show, or your girlfriend to let you watch the show?
It's a good point. Good point.
Just curious. I don't know.
Ty brings up, says, so just throwing this out there, you talked about BLM stuff at the NFL, and the NBA, which is what, 90% black. So you don't think these players have lived experiences that you or myself don't? Oh no, I absolutely do. 100% do. Believe, like, I think literally everybody in the world has different experiences. I have different experiences than Brad. You know, I know Brad has different experiences than his neighbor, and so on, so forth, and so on. Right? I think every single person in the entire world has different experiences than each other. Right? You can have similar experiences for sure, but nobody lives the exact same life. You know, so yeah, absolutely. But you know, generally we try. You know, we're not experts here. No one here is claiming to be an expert. We're just having conversation. You know, we're wrong a lot of the time, and that's totally fine. You know, we're not here trying to preach or spread a gospel about anything. Like, we'll freely admit when we're wrong. No big deal. This is just all built around conversation. That's all. So yeah,
We're just hanging out. We're doing our best. Sometimes we're wrong.
yeah.
Yeah.
As Health Warrior says, look at this. He says he said it was a bad moment, and he still listens and likes the show. I appreciate Chris, for sticking around and still enjoying the show. Me too.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
I think it's wonderful, and you know, I think Chris is going to be a really, really strong listener and viewer of the show for a long, long time, and hopefully, his girlfriend will also come along for the ride. So in 5 years from now, when we're giggling about this, saying, "Remember that time where Chris had this comment and it was like incredibly racist?" You know?
No.
Yeah. So yeah, I
died in the past.
I think it's great. I legitimately think it's great. I really do.
This show's all about love. Look, it's okay. Like, yeah, I think it's all right because we don't, you know, obviously everybody in the comments is showing some love there.
Yeah,
It's all good.
exactly. Here you go. Benjamin says, I'm trying to convince my wife this show is better than anything Netflix has to offer, and it's free. Unless you want to support us over at patreon.com/CraigSkits. We'd greatly appreciate that. Speaking of support, Vion was a brand new Prime sub. Vion, thank you so much for that. We really appreciate that. That's excellent. It's a brand new Prime sub. If anybody has an extra Prime sub laying around, if you got Amazon Prime, hey, coming over to support your boys. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, for sure. You know, Until Plays Game says our society needs more conversation like this. If everyone meets the qualifications of the girlfriend and only validates her opinions, there's no growth. We should encourage discourse between opposing views. That's where we'll grow. 100%. And you know, look, there were comments, some great comments from the last last week or so that were great. I don't want to pull this up, but there, you know, it was a simple comment of like, yeah, I think you guys should have other people on, to talk about different viewpoints. And I 100% agree. I would love to do that. You know, I think that's something we should absolutely do. So, yeah, like this one, I'll read this off. I'm not going to pull it up. It says, the one piece of feedback I like to add to this conversation format is add more opinions. As of now, it's mostly two dudes agreeing with each other. I would love to see you bring in guests to have different opinions and viewpoints, to challenge yourself and grow, not necessarily have argument battles. There's enough of that on YouTube. But if you're gonna have good conversations, you need to step outside your opinion corridor and try to see things from perspectives you don't necessarily agree with. Just my 2 cents. And I said, sounds great. We would love that. I hope you notice that most of the comments we take are from different opinions and viewpoints, in hopes of having them heard. Yeah, and like, you know, oftentimes with this show, Brad and I get in probably 30 minutes ahead of time, and it's like, what do you want to talk about? And then we go from there. So for us to kind of pull in somebody, you know, it has to, you know, we have to have a good 2, 3, 4 day lead time to actually bring somebody in. And that's what happened with Senator Biederman. We reached out to them and you know, but I think one of the biggest and most important things about having conversation is the idea that we want to have people on who actually want to have that conversation, as opposed to people who are just going to try to come in here and change your mind, because that's not conversation. We're not here to have debates. We're here to have discourse. And there's a big difference between those. As was mentioned, there's a lot of that on YouTube already. We're not here to debate. We're just here to talk. And this is a talk show, if you will. So,
yeah, one thing that's I think that we could easily do, and you see this on a lot of shows, is where shows have like celebrities read hate tweets, or, you know, they have segments where you take all of the bad comments and then they read them, and then it becomes a laughing moment. Well, what if you did this? You actually had those people come on and you had a conversation with them, you know?
Right.
And because all they're doing at that point, you know, you see it on Jimmy Kimmel or Jimmy Fallon. I don't remember which one, but you see a lot of that stuff. We're going to read hate mail today, and then it just becomes this laughing matter where we shrug off everybody's rudeness, right?
Mhm.
Or when somebody says something kind of off that maybe they shouldn't have said or something like that. What if we actually had the conversation and said, "Hey, look, why don't we try to actually just talk for a little bit? You know, why don't we
Right.
address this?" And that's what I like about what we're doing right now, because we're not doing it to pick on anybody. We're doing it to sort of call attention to the larger thing, which is the comments that are made, you know, online. You know, generally, you can go to anybody's YouTube channel and read something where you're like, you know, why do people have to say things like that? You know, and look, it doesn't mean they're a bad person. Doesn't mean that they're hateful. You know, because I said this last week. I said every comment on the internet is stupid. Let's just
Right.
all agree to that. Every comment ever made on this, because most of it's just
Specifically
driven.
mentioned Twitter. You specifically said Twitter, but yes.
Yeah, Twitter for sure. Twitter. Okay. Now there's other comments that are well thought out, and you know, and some of you guys actually have left some really well thought out long comments on our YouTube videos, and that's great. They're you know, you can tell you put some heart into it and some thought, and we read them. But yeah, specifically on Twitter for sure. You know, these things they come out of us, and we're never ever called out on it, right? We just do it. I do it. Everybody does it. I just want to say this to you right now because I have the ability to. And that's getting us into a lot of trouble. And that's what I think the larger goal of this conversation is tonight, is like, let's take a step back, okay, before we say things. And just, you know, it's like the old timey, you know, back when Larry was a kid, our good friend Thummy Larry, when he was a kid, there's a general rule where it was like, if you can't say anything nice, don't say anything at all, right? And you know, I try pretty good with that, but sometimes, especially on my Twitter, I'll say something with a little bit of sarcasm or a little bit of snark, and we all do that, a little bit of snark, trying to poke the bear a little bit. Hey, but I definitely try to stay away from saying something specifically mean, you know. And I think that's where a lot of people cross the line these days, is they just go straight into mean territory. And Chris, I'm not talking about your comments specifically. I'm just talking about comments in general. I don't think that came from a mean, hateful place. Obviously, you were awesome enough to come in and chat with us tonight and go, hey guys, sorry. And that's what I think is great about this.
Let me say this even better. Chris said, I'm kind of glad I wrote that comment because we're talking about it now. How wonderful. That's right. That's right. And that's the point of this, right? It wasn't necessarily call. Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily call you out. It was more just to talk about the idea that the statement that you made, while I guarantee was totally unintentionally racist, right, was still racist, right? Like, I know that I feel in my heart that it was just a misstep, but you shouldn't be prosecuted for that. You shouldn't be raked over the coals for saying something, you know, that you didn't mean, but the idea was simply just to point out what you said, the way it was said, sounded really bad. You know, had you replaced a single word in that with any word, you know, with any other color or any sort of nationality or any sort of whatever, you know, chances are you would have received a ton of slack or a ton of crap for that, and you would have been canceled for that, but not here.
No, there's actually a better chance you and I will be canceled for having the conversation.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, just having this conversation, right?
No, we can't have that. No.
And to that point, real quick, you know, we talked about cancel culture on Friday, right? With the whole Gina thing, and I say Gina because I don't remember her last name, but Gina Carano, right? We talked about Gina Carano, and I'm just put this out there, and I put this up before, but this is an open invite to the people who attempted to cancel me. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. You have an open invite forever to come on and have a public discourse about why you despise me so much, right? Apparently on Twitter the other day, people are still upset at me. And I'm sure they'll take this and manipulate this however they want to manipulate it. But you know, when we were talking about the the January 6th stuff at the Capitol, right? I think I was very clear in my statement that I literally said verbatim, they are terrorists. They are domestic terrorists, right? But what this select group of people heard was me say, I'm sure there were plenty of good people at the Capitol that day, right? I'm sure there were plenty of good people at the Capitol that had nothing to do with what was going on with what was actually happening with the whole storming the Capitol building. There were people who were there just like hanging out at their hotel, But what they heard was I said every single person who was there, was okay, including those who went into the Capitol building, which is not what I said at all. But people want to take these things, they want to twist them and do mental gymnastics, and then then I become even worse. So once again, if you like to have a conversation about it, please, the invite is open. You can come on anytime, and I would love to talk about our differences at any moment. So
yeah, there's so much missed in an internet comment, the tone, the delivery, what the person's when a person types something in their brain and the conversation that their voice is telling them in their brain, then it goes onto the internet and the other person reads it another way, by the time they get to it. And it's just so much missed that it's just getting us into too much trouble. If everybody if everybody could log off for like a week and just pen pal, for like a month and get back to like writing or FaceTime even, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to have the real conversation. I was telling you about that all last week where I had somebody write me, hey, I don't like your stuff. I'm throwing your CD in the garbage. I don't like what you're saying online. So I'm throwing your music out of my life. And it's like, well, let's have a conversation about it. And then they were like, well, yeah, I would love to have a conversation with you about it. Oh, it's that easy. Right. I saw a picture or a video. My wife shared it on Facebook. It's a little viral video of two little boys. It's a white boy and a little black boy. And the white boy, they're like 3. And the little white kid is crying. And the little black boy goes, are you okay? Do you want a hug? And in this cute little boy voice, and the other white boy is like, and they give each other this hug. And it's just a beautiful, simple moment where you go, I think we're overthinking it, people.
Right.
Like learn from our children. Just watch them play at the playground, right? They walk up, they start playing. We had this moment a few weeks ago at the playground where a little boy came up to my kids and he just goes, I lost my tooth yesterday. And that was the first thing he said. He didn't even like introduce himself. And then my son was like, I've lost some teeth. And then they just start playing. Right. And then that's it. Why can't we do that anymore as adults?
We were walking, same exact thing. We were walking. I don't even know where we were. We were just walking in a store or something yesterday. I think in Target, and we walked by this little boy, and he goes, "There's my friends," and he'd never met my girls before, but they were around his age, and he immediately he was like he looked at those at my daughters as his friends before he knew anything about them. He looked at them with a positive mindset. Those are my friends, not like. I don't know about those people. I don't know. Maybe those people I may be interested. He looked into, they're like, hey, they're like, let's be buddies. That's cool. And his mom's like, okay, that's fine. And it's one of those things where it's like, that's great. That's excellent. You should look at people like with the best mindset, and that's wonderful. It's just so wonderful. So it's great, man. It's great.
Yeah.
I want to point out some stuff here. Oh, I'd like to go back. I don't want to harp on previous cancel Craig moments too far, but there was one moment in particular where it was after all the stuff in Wisconsin was going on up there, where the gentleman was shot 7 times, and I thought it would be good to have a police officer on. I did a grown ass talk. And I had because I wanted to, when you watch news about these events, you hear one side, right? And I thought it'd be really interesting to hear the perspective of a police officer. And the police officer came to me and he's like, hey, would you like to talk about this? I didn't go out of my way to find them or anything, but I was like, man, that'd be really interesting to actually talk to an officer about their perspective on what they saw in this tape and such. And people were like, they were irate that I would even think to have a police officer on at this time. I'm like, so you just like, you don't want to hear the perspective of a police officer right now? Like when, you know, and it was legitimately kind of mind blowing. And there were other police, you know, I'm going to hold off on that one, but it was fascinating to hear how people thought it was, in their words, evil and vile and disgusting that I would do that. And I thought to myself, like, it's evil and vile and disgusting to hear an opposing view that you necessarily don't want to hear, you know? Or is it, you know, so, you know, you get, by wanting to have these conversations, you are labeled, you know, you're labeled bad, you're labeled evil, you know? So
there's a mentality going on where the door's shut, and it's like a kid. It's like a child's mindset where they get upset with themselves and then they go and lock themselves in the room, and you're like, knock on the door and you're like, can we talk? And they're like, no, go away. And you're like, no, can we talk? No, I don't want to talk to you. And there's nothing you can do. You know, they're just sort of like, they've shut you out. They don't want to hear it. And that's that.
GF Raptor fan says, or GF Raptor says, I was a little shocked by your NBA rant the other day. Even though I've heard other people say similar words regarding the NBA, I'm shocked. The shock came from your tone of voice during that rant more than anything. You sounded pissed off. I was, and I am pissed off. Still am. You know, obviously since then we've seen, you know, the NBA. I'm sure you heard the NBA came back and was like, yeah, you know, you have. Did we talk about that in that show? How the NBA said that they have to play the national anthem regardless. And all that. Did you hear all that?
I have not. I haven't followed up with that story.
Okay, so the long and short of it is the NBA came out and was like, no, you're wrong, Mark Cuban. Everybody's going to play it. Okay. And then like the Stars and the Rangers came out and they're like, don't worry, we're going to be playing the national anthem. You know, and they were just kind of like hopping on the, you know, the bandwagon of like, oh no, we're good. You know, so you know, I haven't. You know, I've looked at the box scores. I honestly haven't really cared, you know, and I legitimately mean when I say like I don't care, I'm done. I legitimately am done and don't care. Yeah. You know, like I said, if they rip off a 27 game winning streak, you know, I'll tune in every once in a while because of the novelty of it. It's the same as like watching the Super Bowl, you know. At a certain point, you just watch the Super Bowl, even though you don't care who's playing, you watch it. But yeah, I'm still really disappointed in that. Absolutely. Yeah. So,
well, I think that your passion comes from your lifelong love of basketball, being a Mavericks fan.
Right.
And there's this problem now where if you raise your voice, you know, if you sound angry, you're crossing a line. You can't do that. You know, you can't be passionate and still be a good person. If you sound angry, then you're just an angry, hateful person. You know, there's so many different emotions getting just lumped into other side. You're either, you know, tolerant and understanding, which means you're nice, you know, which doesn't mean you're nice. But I'm just saying, or if you're passionate and you're speaking from a perspective that makes you get up there and you start being, you know, you start talking with passion. People on the other end are now at this point where they absorb it and they go, whoa. Like there's an interview. Did you watch Trump's lawyer after the acquittal over the weekend? And he did an interview on
I didn't even know he was acquitted. I didn't see. I haven't.
So we should talk about that clip. It's been seen millions of times. I watched it. I don't know, 7 or 8 times now. And
send me it right now. If you can send it to me and I'll download it and we'll put it up immediately. So
all right, let me see here. So the lawyer went on to do an interview and he got on to the interviewer at NBC and he just sort of rats her out. Now there's two different sides to this thing. People are looking at it and going like, oh man, what an idiot. and other people are looking at it like he served her a plate of whoop ace.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a big talk about it, but the guy's speaking with passion because he just did his job and he won. There you go, Craig. I put that in the little private chat.
Okay.
So look, it's just interesting. So the guy, you know, you speak from a certain angle, and some people just speak all the, you know, there's so many different sides of personality. Some people are just aggressive talkers, you know, and they talk a certain way. They talk at you, you know,
Sure.
and you don't, it doesn't mean they're a mean person. It doesn't mean that they're an angry person. It's just their mannerism. Some people are authoritative figures, and
Okay.
they want to be right. They want to be a boss. But it doesn't mean they're mean.
I downloaded this. This is 7.5 minutes long. Is it?
Yeah,
is
it's a long one.
I mean, is it worth sitting through and watching the whole thing, or you know, like?
I mean,
should we say this? Should we say this for another episode, or
we could save it for another episode? We don't have to talk about it tonight. So basically,
I'll tell you. I'll tell you what we'll do. After we're done, we'll
Mhm.
record this and we'll put it up on patreon.com/CraigSkits.
oh, you're gonna make it exclusive.
Yes. Okay.
Nice.
That's what we'll do. We'll put it up on patreon.com/CraigSkits. If you'd like to head over there, you can do it. And we'll kind of go from there. Or, you know, I don't know. I mean, or we'll put it up on
We'll do a Craig reacts to video.
Yeah.
You put it up on Patreon first, see how it goes. I wanted to offer, speaking of Patreon, a little side note here. I'm going to offer an exclusive to your Patreon.
Okay.
I'm working on a theme song for this show.
Mm.
And when I get it done, I'm going to make it a download for the patrons.
Ooh, man.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, cool. Sounds good. Hey, Nihilist also resubbed Prime for 4 months. Nihilist, I'm sorry, I'm just getting to that. I was trying to find a break in the conversation. Okay, well, we've gone for about 50 minutes, and you know, the conversation's kind of been all over the place, but you know, that's how this goes. But with that said, appreciate everybody tuning in tonight. We'll make sure to Iceman. No, you do not need to upgrade your Patreon. Your patron. I'll make it available for all patrons, no matter the level. So you can head over there at patreon.com/CraigSkits. We'll do a reaction to this. It's 7.5 minutes long, so you get extra content, and it'll go up pretty much as soon as I get it done. So, guys, excellent. I appreciate everybody popping in. Chris, I appreciate you being in the chat today, so we can talk about your comment. And I appreciate the fact that you were mature enough to understand we weren't attacking you. We just wanted to talk about the comment itself, and I appreciate. You know, that you were open to this, just as we're open to, you know, all sides of conversation. So
yeah, and that's awesome. Because you could have been like, "Oh crap," just close the computer, you know.
Right.
But you did a good thing. I give you a round of applause, and I award you. We haven't handed out any points.
Oh sure, yeah, fire some points as well.
500 points.
What?
That was awful. That was B-grade movie water spitting out of the mouth surprised face. Here, hold on. You tell me points. I'm going to do this for our show.
Yeah, sounds good. Hey, Grid, you get 500 points.
What? All right, got that all over some hard drives and my table. Okay.
See you guys later. Bye-bye.
See you next time.